this is another like new aspect, I guess. So, um, during every weekend of their event, there will be a ceremony to show off a glow from your class item, depending on the class's standing during the event. Third place receives a bronze glow, second place receives a silver glow, and first place receives a gold glow, and lastly, all stars receive a platinum glow. I think this is a cool touch to this year's games, as it gives a bit more incentivization for playing the event's content. What are your thoughts on the matter?
So you cut out for a second for me. Can you repeat that?
Yeah, so basically, they're doing a ceremony to show off a glow from your class item, depending on your class's standing during the event. Third place, bronze glow. Second place, silver. First place, gold glow. And all stars is a platinum glow. So, like, what do you think about that? Do you think that's pretty cool, or?
Yeah, I think it'll look. It's more of a vanity thing, really, but.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah, I'm not gonna complain.
Yep.
Especially with it being more of a vanity than anything else.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be interesting to see that. People are definitely going to be showing it off because it's mainly cosmetic. So obviously people are going to show it off. But
As long as you're wearing the armor.
yeah.
Yeah, it'll look cool. Totally.
Yeah. But yeah. Otherwise, I think it's good just cosmetic, and that's about it. So.
All right. Nice. So concluding our Guardian Games section of our podcast today, the heir apparent has returned to Guardian Games. And if you are someone who does not have the weapon itself, there will be a quest available for you to go grab it. And the catalyst for the weapon is going to be released as well via turning in medals for your class. You guys think that getting the gun will be grindy for players who do not have it? And will the catalyst drop chance be high or low?
It can't really be worse than how hard it was to get when it first came out.
Yeah, totally.
You know, it was. I was one of the people who got early, and I was just
Same. No.
delete character, make new.
That's pretty much what I did. Deleted like 30
I think we did it at the
characters.
same time.
Yeah, I deleted 30 characters for that.
Um,
Hopefully they don't make you do that, or you have to wait a couple weeks where it's time gated. So hopefully it's
Yeah, I
like
don't
more
think
of
they
a
will.
quest. It's more of like a quest line.
I think the catalyst will be. How do you say it? I think that will just be a set amount of medals.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be like. Do this and this.
Yeah. And
Only,
like with the drop chances on that, what do you think that'll entail, basically?
I think it's just going to be guaranteed once you reach a certain threshold.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Like more and more medals you turn in, like higher chance kind of.
Just like how Heir Apparent was guaranteed once you turn in this many medals.
Yeah.
Or completed these triumphs.
Yeah. Eastern Titan in the chat asked for heir apparent. Yeah, so there's gonna be you're gonna turn in medals for the heir apparent catalyst, and there's a quest for it as well. So he just asked that question. So is there anything else you guys would want to talk about for this event?
We could talk about how hunters are better win, but you know.
All right.
We'll can keep second there. That's cool.
Hopefully the Titans just claim the bronze. That's what we're hoping for. Yeah.
Why would you want to give the Warlocks the silver though?
Yeah, because Warlocks are better than Titans. In my opinion. I'm really tired of Behemoths and Fellwinters.
That's fair. That's the big. I can understand that because that's really what you see in Crucible at this point.
Well, not.
Yeah.
It's not giant more of Behemoth.
But Fellwinter's still there, so.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Eastern Titan, I also forgot to mention, thank you for bringing that up. He says last place for each day gets 10% better after every week. I think it's after every day, maybe.
Yeah, it's every day.
Yeah, so that kind of balances it out a little bit between the classes. So that's another good thing. So they don't have to do like ×2 multiplier for hunters, times 1.5 for titans, and times 1.75 for warlocks or whatever. So that's a pretty good quality of life change, especially with the event. Because last year it was just, oh my gosh, it's so grindy, and it's Bounty Simulator. Like, holy smokes. Whew. Yeah, so I think that's a really nice touch to the event this year. All right.
Yeah.
You guys ready to switch over to trials?
Absolutely.
All right. So, trials. What needs to be changed? Well, a lot of things, I think. So, I think the loot this year, sorry, not this year, this season is a lot better than what we got. We got new weapons. We got adept weapons that are actually good. But the problem is that the loot system needs to change. Specifically, the tokens and the bounties to obtain rewards. Because the 3-win reward's not that hard to get. Because you can just keep jumping off the map. So what do you think are some changes that can be made to like token rewards and that kind of thing?
Scott, if you want to take the lead because you played trials more than me.
With the token rewards, I think they should just honestly, I'd prefer it if when you turn in tokens, it's just loot from that week of trials. So like right now, it's the Igneous Hammer, Hunter Cloak, or class item, and what's the third one?
The class.
Regardless.
Are you talking about the Flawless?
Flawless is Igneous Hammer. I'm asking about the 7-win. It's Exile's Curse, right?
7. Oh yeah, Fusion. I think Fusion. Yes, Fusion is 7.
Yeah. So with all that, those are the only 3 things that should be available. When you turn in tokens after you've earned it. If you're turning in tokens and haven't reached a 3-win, you should still get the 3-win.
Yeah. Russ, would you like to add anything onto that?
In regard, yeah. With that, and because I played trial once with Scott, another of our friends, and I think it's not great, probably because you have to get wins, or not. That's obvious. It's the let's see. I want to say the exaggerated point of it. That makes no sense. Going to that. I'm going to say I see it as a thing to look over and consider. I'm not because the current system that it has going.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of it, probably because just how it's very. It depends on what type of group you run into. If it's inexperienced players, if it's good players, also depends very heavily on what people are running.
Yeah.
So.
Totally.
Yeah. So I think overall, it's just a extra safety net for those who need help.
Yeah.
In regarding getting the ammo, in regarding getting various weapons and all that.
Yeah, and then Eastern Titan just mentioned in the chat. So he says rounds 1 like in the comp playlist for the bounty in trials that awards the 3rd win weapon. So he says like instead of rounds played. So basically, if you win rounds, you get the weapons instead of winning games, basically. Which I think is interesting because I think every time you play a game, you should get a reward in 5 tokens. That's just my thing. And based on whatever you've gotten that week, because you're getting at least 1 drop per round after you're done with a match. That makes it a really better system to loot and turn in more tokens, but also play the game more because after every round you might get the same weapon or you might get a different weapon, even if you lose or win. And I think I'm pretty sure you don't get any tokens for a loss, right? Like currently?
No. I think you should get 1 and 2 if you win.
1 or 2 if you win?
2 if you win, 1 if you lose.
Yeah, because you don't get any now, which is just absolutely stupid. And I think bounty should give like a couple more tokens on top of that, because they are I know they are synergized with your team. It's like a team bounty essentially, but there just needs to be a way to get more loot, and maybe like, because there might be a bunch of complaining Carls out there that'll be like, well, since those players aren't good enough to go flawless, then why should they get all the rewards even if they're losing all the time? Well, maybe if you're losing a bunch of matches, the chance for like god rolls on those specific weapons are a lot lower. But if you keep winning and go to that flawless, the like drop chances for a god roll are higher. So you don't have to repeat that process of going flawless again. So I think that makes it like still competitive, but also enjoyable to like a less skilled player on the PvP sides of things. What do you guys think about that? I've always had that thought in my head about trials, so just wanted to know what you guys think about it.
I think that seems just about fair.
Yeah, you get loot even if you lose, but it may not be the best, but it's still rewarding. It's a looter shooter. It's supposed to be rewarding for playing the game. And if you get better and get more wins, then you should get better loot, right? But
I think in regards to
gating loot is the baseline. Sorry, Russ.
it's fine. No, but I think with your idea of in various gaining rerolls of guns that you already got that week, I like the idea of it, but I imagine it's because if they did it for every game you won, it would just kind of end up being imbalanced, because at that point people would just be playing and not really care about winning necessarily. Or while you do get that from wins,
Yeah,
they wouldn't put as much importance on it.
definitely.
So I would think that it's an interesting idea. I don't know if I wouldn't necessarily work in practice. Probably because trials is made so, or at least the way I understand trials is that it's that segmented win area. I would think that probably even if you don't have you would need a card to even do it. So that's what I was gonna say, was kind of pointless after that, but
Yeah,
Trials is definitely oriented towards winning.
yeah.
definitely. Yeah.
I think I would say every few wins. It's not necessarily every game you won, because at that point it just kind of get unbalanced at that point for me.
Yeah, it's
For me,
randomized.
I see that as being unbalanced. But
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
otherwise everything else on there sounds really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Eastern Titan says, what if they reward a curated roll of the weapon at 3 wins for the bounty instead of a random roll? No, that's way too overpowered.
That's way too easy.
Yeah, that would be no.
Now just if you get the win, and then you don't worry about
like,
you have to work. You don't.
Maybe
rolls
instead
or
of
anything.
that, Eastern, to make it feel more rewarding, I guess, the more times in a card you win, like say you get a loss and then you win 3 games, like the higher chance, you may get like a higher chance to get a better roll, necessarily. Not a curated roll, but a better roll. Yeah, because there's so many perks in that pool that it'd just be pointless to give the weapon to you right away. So I think, yeah, there's a lot of different ways you could go to trials, and a lot of different ways people would like it to go. But yeah, I think all of our ideas were pretty good. I mean, I think those are positive changes that a lot of people would accept.
I mean, let's see. In regards to that, I would say, let's see. In regards to the rolls, like I said before, you have the increased likelihood for each win you get.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not gonna say this isn't necessarily this shouldn't be necessarily the way that they should go at it. But an idea I could have is that, let's say you go flawless, and for the 7th one, you're guaranteed to get a either really good roll or a curated roll, depending on what depending on how many losses you got. Like if you want flawless, then I feel like you probably deserve that curated role.
Definitely.
But
Mm-hmm.
if you let's say 1 or 2 wins or one or 2 losses, it's a lower risk.
Oh, you mean like 7 wins
it's-
and like 2 losses? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, if you get 7 wins, 2 losses, it's a lower chance for that, but that doesn't mean it's impossible to get.
I don't think they should do curated roles at all for trials because people always
Yeah.
want a different.
Maybe like really good roles.
A god
and-
role is subjective.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah, not curated roles. That would just be that'd be too much. For the reward system to handle.
But definitely, I would just say just finish that off. Probably more weapons that are more, I guess, specialized towards, let's say PvE or PvP. Like you can get a good PvP role, PvE role on certain guns from trials.
Yeah.
What I would think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Another aspect of this, I can't remember the YouTuber's name, but I think it was Error or something like that. He was thinking, you know how the umbral engram system works?
Mm-hmm. Where you
Yeah.
just kind of get it on the ground, or
Or you can
Well,
focus it, you know?
Kind of,
Yeah.
yeah,
Focus it? Yeah.
Focus
Okay.
more on the focusing part and less picking the engram off the ground. So
yeah.
he was
So
saying
it's-
that in trials we should have a focusing system, right? And based on how many games you win, like say you go 3-0 with no losses, you should get a engram focus on to what weapon you want to get, and there's not like a set weapons for the week, right? Or there is a set set weapons like 3 win reward, 5-7 flawless. And so you know how with the cryptolith lure you can like exclude and include certain perks on your weapon.
Yep.
Yeah. So he thinks that like if you get the 3 win reward, you should get a hand cannon. So let's say it's an igneous hammer 1 week. You get a hand cannon focused engram that when you go back to Saint 14 to get your reward or to like focus it, you can, depending on how many engrams you have, you can just like focus it and like there's little mods you can get basically. I don't know how he said you earn the mods to like focus it with certain perks, but basically think of it like the cryptolith system essentially, but with umbral.
I think that would be helpful and
Yeah.
fun.
Like it doesn't guarantee you a god roll when you decrypt it, right? Honestly, it's basically just like umbral engrams, but it's a little bit different.
you just have a higher chance of getting what you want.
Exactly. So because now you only have the 3 win drop from getting 3 wins in the bounty, and you're rarely ever guaranteed a god roll. You have a higher chance to get a god roll. And then with the flawless, this is, I can't exactly remember what it was, but he said that if you go flawless, and once you get to the lighthouse, you get an adept focused engram. And based on that, he went on to say that like once you get to like, basically he said the trials chest at the end there was like the focusing system. You should be able to do the same thing, focus it with perks, and you get a better chance of actually getting the perks you want or a god roll, because the game knows which perk combinations are a god roll, and when you include and exclude it, like the perks with the mods, it should be helpful for you. And you probably should get almost a guaranteed god roll if you do go flawless, because that is a very difficult thing to achieve for most players, I would say.
Okay, that makes sense. Let's see. I do like the focus idea because, like I said before, it allows more gain for it. I would say they could take some stuff from the recaster, and I would say, depending on, actually, I think a way you could use it if you want to focus on specific things is use tokens from it. And you could use that instead of trying to get an engram and trying to get random roll. Use those tokens, sacrifice them in order to get the, let's say, a higher chance at getting a certain perk on that gun, or getting a more I don't want to say no. I don't. Focus on a perk, or just getting a specifically like maybe snapshot sites or outlaw, something like that.
Yeah, desirable perks.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, honestly, the Umbral thing sounds cool. I think if you look it up, you can go find the video. It's really interesting. He has a lot of like videos on like weapons 2.0, loot 2.0, that kind of thing. So
yeah.
Is there anything else you guys want to get out there regarding the Trials loot system?
No, I don't really have a lot of strong opinions about it.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little loss protection.
Gotcha. All right.
Generally, I think. No.
Oh, sorry.
And I think Winter just kind of guarantee you'll be fine. But yeah, with loss protection, I think you'll feel comfortable playing more of it. That.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eastern Titan says custom GMs. What do you mean by that, Eastern? Says
I
wants
imagine he
custom GMs. I don't.
He might be talking about.
No, he's talking about Grandmasters.
Well, yeah, I know.
Yeah, no.
We can switch the topic to that if you guys want. We're basically over with the scripted portion of the podcast, so it's basically a free floor now. So.
That's really a problem with Grandmasters.
No, I think.
Except for Proving Grounds, but that one just sucks.
Too many champions, honestly. Too many champions.
Yeah.
But no, it's a tank. It's a tank room, and it's the excessive amount of health the boss has.
Yeah. There's please, for the love of God, Bungie, do not make health gated bosses and strikes. I can understand raids and whatnot if you fail to do the mechanics in future raids, but please, for the love of everybody's sanity in this game, don't health gate any more bosses, please. That's what makes that really hard, actually, is the health gating, right? I mean, personally, for me.
Makes it pretty.
I don't really care about them, but
Yeah.
it's not a big deal to me.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right. Do you guys want to end it for today, or anything else?
I think just.
I kind of want to see what Eastern says about custom Grandmasters.
I think I might be entirely wrong, but I think what Eastern might be trying to say is he wants the ability, or they want the ability to be able to. I mean, the mods and the challenges would stay, obviously, but I think it's changing the actual strike that it's on. Being able to determine which strike.
Oh yeah, that's coming this upcoming Tuesday.
That's coming out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my guess. I might be incorrect, but yeah.
Yeah, that's coming out soon. But I mean, if he's not talking about that, he could be talking about what you were saying, Russ, like with like changing the modifiers, because I remember we used to have like a Nightfall card. You guys remember that? Like a Nightfall.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well you choose the specific modifiers.
I think you get it from Xur, or you used to get it from Xur, I believe.
Yep.
For sure it was.
And you can change the modifiers and the multiplier. But I mean, the multiplier in Grandmasters is like 2.5 or 2.75, something like that. So
Yeah.
I think having no radar.
If you complete it,
like,
if you complete a Grandmaster, you're guaranteed 100k. Unless you're really, really slow.
Yeah. Like if you're soloing it, which is just absolutely absurd. I don't know how esoteric solos the Proving Grounds. Dude's insane.
I've sold up to the boss room.
Yeah, it's not easy. I'm sure it's pretty difficult.
It sucks.
Yeah. But yeah, I think GMs are in a good spot because, you know, they may not be accessible to like more casual players because some of them might want to do it. But,
That's their point.
But yeah, it's part of the experience basically. You know, you have to get the pinnacle gear in order to get up to light level. You know, and I think even next season in season 14, it'll be so much easier to get there because it's only a 10 light increase. Okay, he says that is what I meant. Yeah, so with the modifiers,
Okay.
just changing the modifiers. Yeah. And also a question about like the 10 light thing. Do you guys think that they'll make you get bonus levels for the raid VOG when it comes back out?
I think it'll just have to reach the cap, at least.
Cap, at least. All right. Yeah, because
I'll be a safe bet.
I think like letting people level up easier and then making them do like a shit ton of seasonal challenges and bounties is just not the way to go. You know, it just makes it so hard for everybody because like sometimes they can be like, if you're trying to get a couple bonus levels, you know, to boost your light up a little bit. For
Grinding bounties is fun.
Grandmasters, they might do that for Grandmasters, I imagine, but
Grandmasters come out like halfway through the season though, so
yeah, which
no reason to be excessive.
yeah, I think VOG will come out like 2 weeks after, maybe
2 to 3 weeks, like normal.
Yeah,
Maybe just 1 week actually.
They'll give like the
because
less
it's a +10.
Yeah, exactly. They'll give like the less hardcore population of Destiny a little bit longer to, you know, get their loot and stuff, because you know there's a lot of they have other stuff to do, but you know, I think it'll be interesting to see. I'm really hyped for next season. I've heard a lot of leaks, but I'm not gonna say any of them on stream. So
I have seen those same leaks.
yeah,
I'm looking forward to it.
yeah, it's definitely gonna be interesting. I mean, it's kind of implied already. This is already known. It's gonna be a Vex theme season because they said that Vault of Glass coming back would be part of the story. So that's a definite. So yeah, just a lot to look forward to. Even Guardian Games, you know, I'm just looking forward to it. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be an enjoyable few weeks.
Yeah, and then we'll get like a week. Or no, actually, it'll go up to the end of the season games, I think, like 2 days before the end of the season. Yeah, because we have.
That's when the closing ceremony.
Yeah, we have.
Or closing
roughly
ceremonies.
28 days, I think, like 4 weeks till the season's over. So. 3 to 4 weeks, I think. So. Yeah. Future is bright, Guardians.
Yeah, it is.
Very much.
So, you guys ready to close this podcast out? Because I think
I'm not opposed.
We covered pretty much everything that we were scripted to cover, so that's that.
All right, sounds good. All right, for anybody watching out there, thanks for watching. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment.